All right, y'all. So let's get into this breakdown with John chapter 11. No. Ooh, that's going to be a long one. Okay, so chapter context. After giving sight to a man born blind, John chapter 9, Jesus sparred with the religious leaders on at least 2 occasions, John chapter 10. Another failed arrest attempt. Jesus left the area and went out where Jerusalem's politics had little influence. In this chapter, he returns to resurrect a recently departed friend, Lazarus. That results in a renewed commitment from Jerusalem's religious leaders to have Jesus murdered. As the crucifixion draws near, Jesus will stage his triumphal entry in chapter 12 and then begin his final teachings to the disciples. So let's get down to this part 1 of the breakdown. The passage contains one of the most famous stories in the Bible, the resurrection of Lazarus. Scripture gives few details about the relationship between Jesus and the 3 siblings, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. We know that Jesus spent some time in their home. Luke chapter 10, 38-42, was greatly honored by Mary. Mark 14, 3-9, considered a teacher by 2 sisters, John 11:28, and that his love of the family was well known, John 11:36. Despite that closeness, the narrative opens with Jesus some distance away, avoiding the hostile religious leaders of Jerusalem, John 10:39-40. When Lazarus falls ill, the sisters send word to Jesus. Their hope is probably that Jesus will return immediately to heal their brother before he succumbs. On the first reading, Jesus' reply seems encouraging. However, he has a plan in mind that's not so simple. Looking at the timeline involved, it's clear this message gets to Jesus after Lazarus is already dead. With a 2-day delay, Jesus will arrive 4 days after Lazarus' burial. Oh, 4 days. That makes these words, which would have gotten which would have gotten back to Mary and Martha after their brother died, initially seem absurd. John 11:1-4. Jesus has a purpose building for this incident. He has even hinted at this moment in his prior arguments with the religious critics, John chapter 5:28. He knows well in advance that a resurrection is at hand. Okay? The response of Jesus to Lazarus' illness is meant in part